Hi, this is Mohammed, and in this part of the assignment, I will be making a comparison or like a report about the comparison between different automation methods. So, first of all, we got ActiveX and ControlBox. So basically, both of them are kind of quite similar. They're like like each other in some ways, and basically, but a lot of people prefer the ActiveX over the control toolbox. And pretty much the control toolbox is like a button that basically navigates you through certain sheets, and like basically, yeah, so it navigates you through like certain sheet within your Excel document. Well, ActiveX is so yeah, ActiveX is like it's kind of similar. It's literally pretty much the same, but the difference is that you got more customization available to work with when you're navigating through the page. So pretty much with the control box. So yeah, pretty much with the control box, you kind of like it's made to create like a simple button, like something that's, very plain, very like basic, and it does its job. You can put text in it too as well. So pretty much it's like, yeah, it's just for simple stuff, really. But yeah, so pretty much with Control X, it's good in its own way, you know what I mean? But at the same time, when it comes to ActiveX, um pretty much you can use like shapes to be like to act like they're buttons and stuff, and you can use them like to navigate within the like a certain Excel document or Excel spreadsheet, you know what I mean? Plus the fact that you can change the color of the shapes and put text within them. So yeah, also with control toolbox, usually the buttons that you make are just plain gray, you know what I mean, just a basic button. But when it comes to ActiveX, well, using ActiveX, you can make the buttons, as I said, colorful. They are kind of in shape, so it resembles certain things. So pretty much, let's say if I want to put a main menu, I will make the shape of a home because a home kind of relates to main menu within every like digital or something device. So it also helps people that like, have reading problems or something, so they would see the icon and be like, oh yeah, yeah, that means that, you know what I mean? As it's a default icon for this type of things. So yeah, with ActiveX, basically you can do a lot of things. As I mentioned before, was like customizing the color, of course. You can resize the shape, change the font, and other things like other customizations that you can do on it as well. But when it comes to Control Toolbox, you cannot really do these things because basically, it kind of restricts you from, customizing anything. And also, it's so much easier as well to assign a macros to pretty much an ActiveX button. And we'll talk about macros in a little bit, but for now, it's easy to do it. You just have to like insert a shape, whatever shape you want from, the insert menu, and then as soon as you inserted the shape, customize it however you want. You right click on the shape and then press assign macros, and there you go. A little example of how you can use this within like a spreadsheet and it will be so user friendly, so efficient for certain people is if basically, let's say, you have in a spreadsheet, you have multiple pages, you can make like a little arrow pointing to the right, like kind of indicating that, if you press it, it will take you to the next sheet. And and then on the next sheet there's another arrow takes you to the next one, and so on and so forth. You can even add like buttons to kind of like top or like beginning and end or something like that. So pretty much you press on the button, it takes you to the first spreadsheet. You press on the other button, it takes you like on the other arrow. You can make it like a double arrow, and then that will take you to the far last page of the spreadsheet. So pretty much you can, fiddle about with it a little bit, see how what you can work out with it. It's pretty like easy, user friendly in case you want to present it to someone. It's gonna be so easy to like to navigate instead of them going through pages. They can kind of skip through and see what they need to see. So pretty much it just like you didn't even need to put like text or anything. It could be like kind of self-explanatory as you're using icons to do that. You know what I mean? So house, main menu, arrow pointing to go that way, and you can just work with other stuff as well. So that is it really for the control toolbox and the ActiveX. Now we're gonna speak about macros. Right. So when it comes to macros, it's basically like a screen recorder, but it's not at the same time. So pretty much it remembers everything that you do, everything that you click, all the steps that you've done, and pretty much it implements it into a button or an icon or whatever. Depends on what you want it to do. So basically, in order to record a macro, you need to label it like you need to first enable the developer mode on Microsoft Excel. So pretty much to do that, you go to File and Options, Customize Ribbon, and then you just check the box where it says Developer Mode. So once you got there, you can just record the macros by, like there will be an option that would tell you to assign the macros or record the macros. So pretty much like the macros plays back everything that you've done previously, as I just said. Like it kind of just goes, make retraces your steps to what you've done, and then redo it again when you press on a certain thing. So, like I'll give you like an example. I'll give you an example where basically, if you're recording a macro, uh, you click on let's say there's a spreadsheet one and spreadsheet two. So you go to spreadsheet one, record the macros, go to spreadsheet two, and then stop recording. So now what that does, it gives a command of navigating through the spreadsheet. So it takes you from spreadsheet one to spreadsheet two, and it saves that option. So if you ever want to use it again for a different button, you can select it because it has already a name. So pretty much like, and then like when you make an ActiveX button and you choose the option, or even like it doesn't have to be ActiveX, it could be like a control toolbox as well, and you select the option where you the recording that you just did, it kind of just like you press the button, it takes it from spreadsheet one to spreadsheet two, and this is pretty much how it works. It's pretty simple, like pretty simple yet pretty useful to use in certain situations. So pretty much like macros is very advantageous when you're using it in a spreadsheet because sometimes when you're working with many spreadsheets at the time, like let's say you work in a company or a bank or something, you would have loads of spreadsheets to navigate through. And if you're gonna add a macros to like control toolbox or ActiveX, it kind of makes it like easier to find what you're looking for. Let's say if you're going to work with a certain spreadsheet for some time, you can make a macros for it. So every time you click on that button, it will take you to wherever you want to without going and looking through all the files to find the exact one where you need. And it's a long process. And also like another advantage, like, and also yeah, I forgot to mention that it will make it look more professional as well, instead of like just the person, like, or the body that you have to present that Excel to, instead of them looking and trying to find out where you look what the certain spreadsheet that you're supposed to be looking for. You just click on one button, boom, you're there already. It's makes it look better for the user or for presentation. And also another advantage that I already mentioned was the fact that you can use the same recording over and over and over again, unlimited times. You don't have certain limitation. You can use as many times as you want. All you have to do is just record it once and use it for a million times if you want to. I'm adding this section as well about the macros with Visual Basic. So pretty much like macros could be edited with Visual Basics. Like let's say if you want to create a button and you made a certain recording, if you've pressed the option of viewing the code, it will take you to Visual Basics where you can use like it uses programming language to kind of to make all the magic work. Like pretty much pressing the button takes you to different spreadsheets. So all of that is just lines of code. So pretty much like this is considered an advantage because let's say if you record a certain macro, let's say I have a main menu. I have page one, page two, page three. So I want to like make a button to take me to the main menu, and by mistake, I made it take me to page one. So pretty much, I could just go to the code and change it from page one to the main menu, and boom, voila! I press the button, takes me back to main menu where I was supposed to. So it's pretty good advantage. Instead of like re-recording the macros, you can just go edit the code, and it makes the thing that you want it to do for you. Right. So in conclusion, there is a lot of uses for pretty much like control toolbox, ActiveX, and macros. Whether someone like wants would love to use Control Toolbox or ActiveX. It's kind of like personal preference, depends on what they like. They would like what they like to use. But in my opinion, ActiveX is so much better because of the customization options. There's a lot of things to do on it. And pretty much macros is, it's pretty much an amazing feature that you can use to kind of like make your life so much easier when using Excel, and makes it easier for the user or the person you present it to as well. That will be all for this report about Control Toolbox, ActiveX, and macros. And I will see you all in the next one.